Gurrier got tossed after repeatedly hacking at her, and the referees? Some of the worst officiating you've ever seen. Angel Reese's fans mocked Fever supporters, telling them to lower their hopes, their expectations, maybe even their standards. But one player didn't realize what was coming. She had no idea what Caitlinclark and Sophie Cunningham were about to unleash. Stephanie White started the game with a lineup that fell flat: no Sophie, no Lexi Hull. The Fever came out sluggish, both in pace and energy. Defense? Slow. Reactions? Late. Movement? Non-existent. Still, Clark, clearly not at 100%, scored Indiana's first points, playing through visible discomfort. The opponent gained a lead and thought they'd solved the Caitlinclark puzzle. Then, Stephanie White flipped the script. She brought in Sophie Cunningham, Caitlin stayed on, and Lexi Hull and Kelsey Mitchell joined them. That's when the Fever turned into a different beast. If one of them was off, the others stepped up. Ball movement returned. Energy came alive. Suddenly, the Indiana Fever looked like the team everyone hoped they'd be. Sophie moved like poetry in motion, easily one of the most graceful players in the WNBA. Lexi, with the highest three-point percentage in the league, hit 2 perfect shots. The message was clear: if you're focused on Caitlinclark, you're missing half the playbook. Meanwhile, one opposing player kept playing dirty, grabbing Caitlin's arm every drive, yanking her jersey. The refs? Apparently blind. But Clark and Cunningham didn't flinch. They answered with fire. The hustle was unmatched. Sophie and Lexi were sprinting end to end. Clark spotted Sophie wide open, trusted her to hit a big shot. It didn't fall, but the trust was loud. Then came the turning point. Another uncalled foul. This time, Clark snapped back, drove again. This time the foul was clear. The defender shoved her. No flagrant. Then tried to intimidate her. Caitlin calmly replied, "I'm not scared of you." And with that, the real game began. Clark dished a genius assist. Then another. Then drained the most elegant three you'll ever see. Indiana cut the lead by the first quarter's end, then exploded in the second. Ball movement. Off-ball motion. Elite vision from Caitlin and Sophie. Natasha Howard stepped up. Even Dairis Dantas, usually not a headline name, brought energy and a big three. Gurrier kept up her cheap shots. Stephanie White managed minutes masterfully, knowing they had liberty the next day. Kelsey Mitchell, meanwhile, delivered her third stellar performance in a row. This version of the Fever? Unstoppable. Caitlin was having an off night, some said. Yet she led the game in assists. Among top scorers. And the Fever were +5 with her on the court. She broke records, again, and it's only the start of the season. That defender couldn't stop her. Clark just kept coming, another assist, another score. By halftime, the momentum had flipped. Then came the meltdown. The same defender, yes, Ryan Howard, started barking at Clark, threatening her. Caitlin responded with pure class. "Congratulations, Ryan, you're now part of WNBA history. One day you can frame a photo of yourself playing against the GOAT." The second half. A continuation of the beatdown. Clark wasn't feeling great, but refused to sit. The Dreams coach looked rattled, and so did the defense. When Caitlin sat, the Fever faltered. Sophie returned, so did the lead. Then came Gurrier's fifth foul on Clark. Howard scored again. Caitlin answered by going coast to coast. Even on her worst day, she's untouchable. Lexi Hull's court vision stood out. With her and Sophie back, the Fever shut down the bullying. More uncalled fouls. Clark smiled through them. Howard tried again. Clark hit her with another lesson. Caitlin took over the fourth. Atlanta had no answers. The refs tried to tilt the scales, but Sophie stood firm. At one point, a fan yelled at Clark to stop crying. But it's the league that needs to wake up. Where's the official statement? Howard gave the Dream a lead. Caitlin tied it at the line. Then came the final act. Stephanie White played her ace, Sophie Cunningham. And Sophie wasn't there to play nice. She bulldozed the WNBA bullies, zero hesitation. Howard hit a shot. Missed the next. Lexi grabbed the board. The ball found Caitlin. That's safer than a Swiss bank. She broke the defense with a dazzling dime. Then Sophie took it right back to the bullies, got fouled, stole the ball, crossed up not one, not two, but three defenders, hit the free throw, and asked for more. This wasn't just a win. It was a statement.